Check out the new Like a Dog shirt sticker pack right now. 3 stickers, a shirt, and a postcard on sale now at friendomarket.com. Hey, Friendos, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw Matt Chat.
I'm fine. I didn't do it.
Available right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson and wherever fine podcasts
Sharp,
are.
though. Feel that.
That needs to stay. I don't want to feel it. I trust you. I don't. Stop it. Available right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson and available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it if you're watching us on YouTube, and leave us a rating, review, or comment if you're listening to us on an audio podcast app. We're also available on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. $1 a month gets you access to this show ad-free every single day that we put out a show. In addition, the $20 and up, $20 a month and up tier, you can be on this show, Matt Chat.
Yeah.
You put in your $20, you put in all your quarters to the Going In Raw Patreon machine, and then the little camera's there, and you get to take your video and ask us a question.
Kind of.
It's kind of how it works.
Not really.
It's like the George Michael sports machine.
Kind of, yeah.
It wasn't actually a sports machine.
No, there's no... Well, I mean, there was machine. They had to edit stuff. So it was a machine involved in the production of the episode, cameras.
I don't think there was a singular sports machine, though.
No, he was the sports machine.
Oh, is that what it was
He
about?
was processing all of the sports and showing just the highlights.
He's dead now, isn't he?
I have no idea.
That'd be a bummer. Anyways, we got a bunch of great Matt Chat questions from our wonderful patrons.
We do.
Like I said, at $20, you can get involved in the action, too. First up, you got Patrick Sparks. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, friendos, Pat here, on break at work. But this Monday we got the heartbreaking news of Roman having leukemia, coming back and all that, him having to relinquish the title. Like I said, it's all heartbreaking. I feel so bad for the guy and his family, but I'm looking forward. I didn't like his character much before, but I do like humans, so looking forward to his return. But what I want you to do is I want you to book his return. What would you do? What kind of storyline should he be in when he gets back? Should he go straight for the title? Who should he fight? Seth, Dean, Braun, Drew? What do you think? Personally, I'd like to see him get a reaction, not bigger than, but on par maybe with Triple H returning after tearing his quads and whatnot, getting that huge-ass reaction. But hopefully it's a quick fight for the big dog. We see him back soon. Thanks, friendos. Bye.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Thank you, B-Man.
It's easy. I mean, it sort of depends on when he comes back during the year, but to make the best instant impact, surprise entrant to Money in the Bank, wins the briefcase, and that night cashes in and goes away Universal Champion.
No, man.
That's how you do it.
There's a template. Surprise entrant in the Rumble, wins the Rumble.
What if he comes back in like June?
Well, he can wait.
Or March? Well, no.
March is fine. He can still find a way to get to the main. He'll win the Universal title at Mania main event. That's what has to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's
about
what it
that.
has to be.
You're
That's
probably
where
right
that's the
about
culmination of whatever plan there is. It culminates in him winning the Universal title at Mania, probably Mania 2020. I don't know how long the treatment and recuperation process is.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how long that
I know.
takes.
I guess depends on how far along everything is.
But it would,
severity
I
of
mean, yeah,
things. I don't know.
It's got to be like a Mania moment.
Yeah.
It's got to be a Mania
Yeah.
moment.
Culmination is a title win at Mania.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. 100%.
What's the biggest? Is the Rumble entrance the biggest pop possible?
Surprise Rumble entrance. Yep.
Yeah, it is, huh?
It is.
That's the biggest.
Even
thing.
more than Money in the Bank.
Very good.
Especially now that they're doing Rumbles in baseball stadiums. Instead of having 17,000 people lose their minds, have 40,000 people.
But then we wouldn't be able to tell that it was a big pop from home because it's open air.
Depends on the baseball stadium.
If they do it in a dome, we'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Like Chase Field in Phoenix. Not that it's going to happen this year because it's not. Chase Field in Phoenix, I believe, has a retractable dome.
Would they retract it or
Depends
no?
how hot it is outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. Chase Field has retractable dome not because of inclement weather, because of hot weather.
Because of nice weather. Yeah.
No, too hot. It's just
Way too
Arizona
hot.
heat.
Yeah, nice.
Very hot, like 120 degrees.
Yeah, that's great.
No,
Yeah.
it's too hot.
No, man, it's great. I prefer that. No, I hate. I like a dry heat though. It's a dry heat though.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah. So yeah, just give me that over humidity.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
But still,
for
it's
sure.
not fun.
Next up, we got a question from Flame Spitter. I mean, that was a really easy one to answer. It's Rumblemania. I mean, you're right. I just tried to do something different. That's a really easy one.
I appreciate that.
Rumblemania. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's template. Flame Spitter. Or how about this? So Seth Rollins stays face.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Ambrose, they feud for like 2 years, right? Roman Reigns goes through his treatment, does everything that he needs to do. At the culmination of Seth and Dean's feud, Dean has a literal gun to Seth's face. He's like putting the barrel in his mouth, and he's about to pull the trigger, and then the ultimate save. And then Dean shoots at Roman, and it goes pew, 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 pew.
Superman punch.
Yeah, Superman punch.
Spear.
Oh, spear. And then they just give him whoever has the Universal Champion. They just give
Hands it over to him.
See, I think mine's better. Flame's better. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. I had another question that I had planned, but as we all know, card is always subject to change because of what happened recently with all the events with Roman Reigns and having to go with leukemia and having to vacate the title and all that sort of stuff. I want to kind of ask, what's the most emotional or shocking title relinquish that we've had? Like, for example, we had the one from Edge, or the one from Daniel Bryan, or we had Finn Balor, but he wasn't really as emotional or shocking as the ones from Edge or Daniel Bryan. So I want to ask, what was the most emotional or shocking vacate? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Flame Spitter.
Thank you, Flame Spitter. I go first.
No, I go first. You went first last time.
Did I?
You did.
Very well.
I just interrupted you.
Go
I think it's got to be Roman Reigns. And his speech was emotional by itself, but when he goes to the stage and is met by his Shield brothers, Dean Ambrose,
that was
and a sobbing Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was terribly heartbreaking. My heart goes out to Roman and his family. It's I don't know. I felt like Seth was a proxy for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the reports are true, Seth and Corey Graves, and Renee Young too, because if the reports are true and no one really knew about it until he announced it, in terms of backstage and the commentary team, so you can tell like Corey Graves especially, because right before Roman came out, he was talking about his triple threat match at Crown Jewel, seemed to have no idea what was going on, and he was devastated.
Yeah,
he talked about how his kids play with Roman's kids and whatnot. So Roman's speech was incredibly emotional and incredibly heartbreaking, and then you see the reactions of everybody, and it really emphasizes the respect that he has backstage, and people were devastated and heartbroken for him. And I think for me that really kind of pushed it over the edge. Daniel Bryan's was his retirement speech was hard to watch, and especially knowing the circumstances that he was kind of forced into it.
Okay, here's the thing. This is why Daniel Bryan's. And look, when you have something that's life threatening, yeah. I did like a very, very basic amount of research on like leukemia, like mortality rates, and I like to think that given that Roman Reigns is going to have access to only the finest of health cares, of treatments, apparently these days, you're pretty good. Like if you I mean, granted, anything can happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you have real top of the line treatment,
you catch it early enough.
You catch it early enough after your first like round of chemo or whatever. There's a pretty good chance that it's gonna go into remission. I hope that's the case. I really do.
Yes.
And the unknown factor here is devastating. It really is, because you don't know. I mean, this could be the thing that kills him, or it couldn't. I'm inclined to think that he's, especially when you're like in peak physical form, like your body's ready to fight, and I think he's ready to fight. That's great.
Yeah.
Here's why this is one case to be made for Daniel Bryan though. Roman Reigns can come back. He could beat this and he can come back. When Daniel Bryan did his retirement speech, there was zero indication that he would. And granted, I know that living the rest of your life versus not living the rest of your life, that's obviously the big difference here. But with Daniel Bryan, with Roman Reigns, it's like, I'm going to beat this thing, I'm going to come back. With Daniel Bryan, there was never I'm going to beat this thing and come back. It's just, I'm done now. I was told about this to boost ratings because they didn't think there was any way they're going to clear me. I don't think I'm ever going to be cleared. I guess I just have to. And then they didn't. Wait, oh no. Did Brie come out?
Yeah, at the very end.
Brie came out at the very end
end,
and
yeah.
hugged him and everything. And so when there's that issue of finality, and I know, again, it's his wrestling career. It's not his life. That's a very emotional thing as well.
Oh, it definitely is, yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I can't, there's nothing I can do. There's literally nothing I can do. And it's Daniel Bryan, the guy who loves wrestling maybe more than anybody in the company. That's such a downer.
Oh, it is.
As opposed to in Roman Reigns' case, it's like, yes, we are dealing with a man's health and his life here, but, you know, there is that sense of defiance. I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to come back, and they're going to put the strap back on me. with Daniel Bryan, it was just defeated. It was over. That was done. So, but they're both. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Which leads to our next question from Christopher Rampersad, very similar to Flame Spitters. Let's see what Christopher has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. So my question is, who gave the better speech, Daniel Bryan's retirement speech or Roman Reigns' speech this past Monday Night Raw? You choose who did it better.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
Again, I mean,
man, they're both really heartfelt. They're both, they're both spilling their guts out. They're both about really heavy things. Roman Reigns is about life and death. That probably takes the cake.
Yeah.
I mean, if Daniel Bryan's is about life or death and Roman Reigns is about just being concussed out of a job, probably be Daniel Bryan. When you're dealing with somebody's life, that's pretty heavy stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add to that?
No, I feel like we kind of answered.
That's pretty cut and dry.
Covered most of the ground we needed to the previous question.
Yeah, here we go. Matt Chat Hall of Famer Maya Dope. Let's see what she has to say.
Friendos, it's Mr. Dope's daughter here, and I was wondering, who do you think will win the Women's Battle Royal at Evolution? Thank you.
Thank you, Maya Dope.
Thank you.
I go first.
You go first.
So in our predictions video, our official predictions video, we both picked Nia Jax. Now,
seems to make sense.
For the sake of entertainment and debate,
sure,
neither of us will pick Nia Jax.
Correct.
So I'm going to say Asuka. Now, we've been hearing rumors that, I guess Becky's confirmed it to a certain extent, that she's been dealing with some sort of jaw injury, cracked jaw, something like that maybe.
Yeah.
So if she needs to take some time off, it would make sense for a SmackDown competitor to win the Women's Rumble at Evolution, because right now it only makes sense for a Raw competitor to do it, assuming that Becky can continue wrestling with this injury, because this Charlotte-Becky feud isn't and shouldn't end anytime soon.
No, it shouldn't, but if she's dealing with a busted jaw, that might increase the odds that Charles is going to go over it.
Well, yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. If Becky's been wrestling house shows and stuff, and she was dealing with any sort of significant injuries, I would suspect they would take her off the house show circuit.
Yeah.
So, assuming Becky has to take time off, Charlotte wins, and they need someone to step up to challenge Charlotte for a while Becky recuperates. Actually, if that's the case, I don't want my answer here, because I picked Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want another Asuka-Charlotte feud that just leads to Asuka losing.
Asuka not getting the title.
But if they do that and have them engage, say Becky has to be out for 3 months.
Nobody's gonna be booing Asuka.
No. So Becky's out for 3 months. Charlotte wins at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka wins the Rumble. They can have a feud for 3 months. Asuka can win the title for a while. And then when Becky comes back, either they continue Charlotte and Becky without the belt for now, setting up who's going to take on Asuka Rumble or Mania, or if they really want to do this, which I would not be in favor of, have Charlotte at the end pick up the belt from Asuka to finish their feud to continue on the Becky feud. Either or.
Mm-hmm.
I'd prefer the first situation rather than Asuka coming out on the losing end of another feud against Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be my pick.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Ember Moon.
Good choice.
Here's one thing about Ember Moon that they might actually do. Number one, they have been very on the sly, booking her very strong. She never loses. She always comes out on top.
She's only lost once.
When was that?
She lost to Sarah Logan?
Oh, did she? Okay,
yeah.
Because of Riot Squad interference?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds right. Look at the memory on you. They've been booking her very strong. I get the feeling we might... Okay, here's the thing. There's nobody after the Bellas. There's nobody really left for Ronda. What other heels are there for Ronda? I mean, Nia wasn't even really a heel when she fought her. What other strong heels? You got Sasha Bailey. They're both faces.
What about Tamina?
I mean, you got the Riot Squad, but we've already seen Tamina. We've got, Ronda, breaking their arms, in tandem, two at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Turn Ember Moon heel.
They kind of teased that when she kind of turned on Nia.
A little bit. It would. I get the feeling that they might do that. They've been booking her strong, leaving her without any real feuds, so they can give Ronda Rousey somebody else, mind you, who is a terrific wrestler,
yes,
who you can totally trust,
yes, with
Ronda Rousey in that ring. Turn Ember Moon heel. I think that could actually do a world of good for her.
Yeah.
I think
that could be good.
The thing about Ember is that she's so naturally likable. It might be. I don't know if she ever wrestled heel on the independent circuit and how effective she was.
I don't know.
It might be a difficult transition, but you never know. I don't know. She might really love it and she might really take to it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's kind of like AJ Styles. It's just being a heel. He never really took to it because he's so obviously naturally likable.
Yeah.
Kind of feel the same thing with Ember Moon, but I could totally see her. Like, did she never, in all the scuffles leading up to Evolution, she was booked really strong, but she never really stood tall, did she?
I mean, she won the match on Raw.
She won them, this last week?
Yeah.
What was that match?
It was her and Nia against Tamina and Dana
she
Brooke.
hit the Eclipse on Tamina.
Yeah, to get the win.
And then they stood tall together. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say Ember Moon.
No, it's a good pick. I almost chose her.
Yeah. I probably should have picked that in my predictions now that I think about it. Anyways, thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Maya.
Next up, we've got a question from Devin the Dude. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Steven Larson. It's Devin from the island again, here with another Matt Chat question. Really quickly, I want to get your take on how you think things are going to go tonight. Well, I mean, Sunday for Evolution, between Becky and Charlotte. I posed a question to a couple people, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. I'm thinking that we might have a repeat of ECW One Night Stand with the crowd, with John Cena and Rob Van Dam. With the way that they're pushing Charlotte and the response for Becky and how big New York is of being a mark town, we could see a repeat. I mean, I'm all excited for it. Really excited. Wish you guys could be there in person. It'll be a great show, regardless of the terrible build. I believe Becky was kept off along with Charlotte, so this way the fans won't see Becky cheered and Charlotte booed on the go-home show. I am a big fan. I got this nice cool poster from Comic-Con, both of them. It's really cool. But I want to hear your takes. Thank you so much, friendos, and stay strong, brothers.
Thank you, Devin the Dude.
Thank you, Devin.
What's going to happen at Evolution, Becky versus Charlotte?
Well, first of all, do you think it's going to be like a one-night stand 2006 situation?
No, I don't. I think the crowd, when you have a crowd there that's like there for a celebration of women's wrestling, I think it's going to be a fairly respectful crowd. I think they're going to be just,
I think the reaction from the crowd would probably be no different than your average SmackDown.
Yeah, I think you're right about it. Yeah.
In terms of the ratios of fans cheering for Becky versus Charlotte.
Yeah, they're not like in Chicago.
It's going to be any more fervent than usual.
Yeah. I just think Becky's going to win. That's what
you think is going to happen?
That's what I think is going to happen. I think she's going to win. I think it's probably going to be the third best match on the card. I think it's going to be Shayna Kairi, Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. Those are going to be two best matches on the card, and this is going to be third.
I don't know. This might be the best one because it's the stipulation, and it gives Becky an opportunity to be what? Vicious.
Yep.
No DQ.
Sledgehammers.
Last woman standing.
Chair shots to the head unprotected.
The only limitation she has is her own creativity and how creative she can get with inflicting punishment on Charlotte so she can win. Mm-hmm. And the stipulation benefits the competitor who's willing to take the extra step.
Yeah, but Charlotte's been there before. With Sasha. She's been there.
Not a last woman standing match.
They did a falls count anywhere match.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
There was a Hell in a Cell match too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Brutal. Brutality. Hell in a Cell. Exactly.
But that was also when Charlotte was working heel.
What
She's
does
a
that
face
matter?
now. She's a face now. She can't go that far.
It's in her history. Absolutely, she can. Oh, and she will too. She will.
None about that.
She's not going to win though.
No, Becky's going to get vicious, and she's going to win.
I don't know, man. Charlotte might win.
It really just depends on how badly injured Becky is.
I don't know. I don't think it depends on that. I think a case could be made. They still might hot potato this.
Oh, that's entirely possible. I know.
This might be written in the story. I could see that. I'm by no means confident in my pick that Becky Lynch is going to win. How confident was I? Only 2 confidence points.
Well, you only had 3, so I wasn't that confident either.
Not very confident.
Not very confident.
You know what I'm confident in? That Jeffrey Nguyen is a top-notch friendo.
Correct.
And he's got a question to ask to boot. Let's take a look.
Hey, Friendos. What's a gimmick that you perhaps liked in the past, but now looking back on it, you see it as cringeworthy? Mine is probably The Godfather. You know, during that time I was young, and I just liked women, not fully understanding what he was doing exactly. Thanks. Love to hear your answers. Bye.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, we did some research. We actually spent a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes looking for another answer.
We looked at WCW gimmicks, which were all bad.
This is the correct answer.
Here's the thing about WCW gimmicks. They were so bad, I never thought any of them were cool.
Exactly. They were always cringeworthy.
They were always bad. I came up with maybe like Val Venus, because imagine trying to take like your family to a wrestling show and Val Venus is there.
But also during the Attitude Era, that wasn't the audience there. They weren't really courting anyways,
you know? Do that, exactly. So no, it's tough. Here's the thing about The Godfather. Go back and watch an Attitude Era episode of Monday Night Raw with The Godfather in it. It's almost unwatchable. It's horrible. It's so bad. I remember he was throwing out homophobic slurs. It's like, because I've gone back and watched in the past year, and it's like, oh man, wow. That was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
He wasn't even really a lovable pimp. They couldn't even pull that off. When you watch it now, it's just, man, that guy's pretty vile. and people were super cheering him. Oh man, no, it's bad.
Yeah, it
really bad. So Jeffrey,
congratulations. Whole lot of not good.
You tried to challenge us on one, and yeah, we came up empty, dude.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Next from Eric Sinnott. Let's see what Eric Sinnott has to say.
What's up, Steven Larson? Eric Sinnott here with another Matt Chat question with Figgy the Furry Snake Roberts. Quick question for you guys. Should Tommaso Ciampa be the new longest reigning NXT champion, beating Finn Balor's record? Love to know what you guys think. Too sweet, hearty handshake, and a shoulder ride.
Thank you, Eric Sinnott.
Thank you, Eric.
I'm going to go first just so I can say Ciampa Sinnott go to main roster anytime soon. And because of that, you know how the algorithm works. As soon as you drop that title, you get a very quick rematch, and then you quantum leap to main roster. Yes, have him, absolutely. Have him. I think you can, a guy like Ciampa, they can keep it interesting with him. They could keep it different with him. Adam Cole seems obsessed with that North American title, which is fine. Have him keep on going after that. He doesn't need to go after the NXT World title or whatever they call it, just the NXT Championship. Yes, for the main reason, keep him off the main roster because they're going to screw him up. Bottom line, keep him away from there. Look what they did with Sanity. Oh, we were all mad that Nikki Cross. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. I just threw that word out and it's all confusing to me. Everybody's like, oh, Nikki Cross isn't in there. Boo, she's not getting called up. Thank God for that. That's all the proving. Glorious Bob Roode. You imagine Ciampa going out there? Yeah, have him smile a lot and be happy. Oh, my God. He face turned for Ciampa to go to main roster. Exactly. You want to avoid that shit? Keep that title on him. Do you see the way he cradles that title?
He talks to it.
He talks to it. He's like this. He's made to be champion.
Oh, he's great. But I feel like there's one massive impediment keeping him from having a significantly long title reign, and that's the Johnny Gargano redemption story. And part of that story means Ciampa has to lose that title, whether it be to Gargano or more likely Aleister Black. Gargano needs to, in the end, I would assume, if the arc they're telling, the narrative arc they're telling is what I think it is, at some point Johnny Wrestling has to find himself again and has to undo the wrongs he has done.
Yeah, he should just endeavor then to get Adam Cole back his North American title as part of his redemption story.
He played no role in any of that.
Right.
Whereas
but we all want that
he
to
directly
happen.
cost Aleister Black the NXT title.
We all want that to happen, so that's what he should do because we want it to happen.
I don't know. I feel like Adam Cole should be the longest reigning NXT champion.
No, man, he's going to main roster soon. Talk about somebody. Is he? That's somebody question. Somebody is Undisputed Era main roster proof.
Nobody's main roster proof, man. Nobody.
Oh, it's scary. That's so scary.
We got some more NXT questions. Next from Josh Little. Let's see what Josh Little has to say.
Do you think NXT UK should have its own takeover? Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, Josh Little.
Thank you, Josh Little. I get to go first. Not yet. It's not established enough yet. I don't know if the talent base is deep enough yet.
It's like my favorite thing right now.
I kind of feel like for the time being, NXT UK is going to be handled similar to 205 Live in terms of its integration into its respective pay-per-view schedule. Everyone will get an occasional cruiserweight title match on a pay-per-view, but for the most part, they handle their business on their show, and I think the same thing's going to happen on NXT UK. You'll get an occasional United Kingdom title match on a takeover, maybe. Definitely on NXT TV. If there's a really hot feud in NXT UK, it might pop up on NXT television or a takeover. But until NXT UK really gets its feet under it, until they get their talent really established, I think it's going to be a while before they get their own takeovers.
What a grown-up, mature answer to that question.
Heck yes.
No, man, give me UK takeovers. It's already my favorite new bit of programming on WWE Network. It's fantastic. All the hosses that look almost kind of the same, they're all great. The Mastiffs, the Coffees, the freaking Wolfgang. You got Trent Seven and Tyler Bate dressing up like in their freaking big strong boy, suits coming to the arena. If Pete Dunne isn't even around, it's great. Well, no, he wasn't around. He had that match against Noam Dar.
That was really good.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Zach Gibson going out there talking for 5 minutes, getting booed. Absolutely give them their own takeover. The British crowds deserve it. They took away freaking WWE, stole half of all the talent they have there in the UK scene. So give them some good stuff. Give them big takeover matches. Big strong boys.
But should they have their own takeovers?
But it should be, takeover, but it should be T space A.
Yeah, all the
space.
spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Sure, why not?
All right, fine.
Give them their own takeovers. Why not? What do you care? What are you going to be doing?
That's just more product to watch.
Yeah, it's
okay.
okay.
A lot.
Stop complaining about everything.
I'm not complaining about anything. It's a fact. It's a lot to watch.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. You touched on it. You're right. I mean, are they going to? No, they're not going to. What we're probably going to see, wherever they establish their next NXT brand, Japan, Mexico, Arkansas, wherever they do it, they're probably going to keep them, like you said, confined to their own shows like 205 Live, stuff like that. That's probably going to be the case. Maybe the big title matches on NXT TakeOver shows.
Exactly.
Which might necessitate something that Velveteen's hairstylist suggests here in his video question. Let's take a look.
Hello, Friendo Universe. Steven Larson. We got a Matt Check question for you. So, with the introduction of the NXT UK brand, should NXT have longer takeovers at maybe about 4.5 hours? Or should they introduce more takeovers to include the extra talent? As I see it, they're going to have 7 titles, which usually on an episode of TakeOver, you might see 5 matches. 7 titles need to be defended. That's more matches than we usually get out of a TakeOver. So should takeovers be longer, or should we get more of them? Thank you guys. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Have a great day.
Thank you, Velveteen's hairstylist.
Thank you, Velveteen's hairstylist. I go first.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Make them longer. Every month, another takeover. Absolutely. Yes. Why not? What else are you doing? You're not doing anything else. Yes. A takeover for every WWE pay-per-view, I think would be a fantastic idea. They put together these terrific matches. I want more great matches. 205 Live has great matches every week. We can have 5 great matches every month from NXT takeovers every month.
But they're longer, they'll have more matches.
What's that?
They're longer, they'll have more matches.
Yeah, and make them longer.
No, they're
More?
special. They're basically perfect how they are now. Don't mess with it. They feel special because they only happen 5 times a year.
So boring.
And they take time to really build the matches up because they're excellent.
You ever heard the term more but better? Look at what kind of talent isn't even on TakeOver.
I know.
Has Bianca Belair been on a
select?
Has Bianca Belair even been on a TakeOver yet? No.
Oh, she may.
Candice
She
LeRae?
will soon. She will soon.
No.
She
When was
will
the last
soon.
time we saw Cash? How much talent are they signing? They're going to need a place to put all these people. Longer takeovers, longer NXT TV episodes.
See, I'd rather have longer
2 NXT episodes a week.
Longer NXT TV episodes and longer takeovers. 2 hours of weekly NXT is fine, but I want Man, I only 2.5 hours 5 times a year.
I only have so much time in the week. I can't watch an extra hour of NXT. Jeez, get out of here with that. Next up, oh man, it's the dude himself.
Oh wow,
chilling out in his van, listening to some Phil Collins. Let's take a look at Wayne Maker.
Do you remember? Hello, it's Wayne Maker here. And my match chat question / debate for this week would be, I would like both of you to book the best NXT versus indie wrestling card ever. I'm talking tag teams, women, gauntlet, death matches, all of that stuff. Who would be the best opponents for who? I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Wayne Maker.
Thank you, Wayne Maker. Oh man,
great question. Here's our card.
We came up with
This is
talk about select. What do we call this? NXT X Indie Select.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what we call it.
There we go. Here we go. Well, this is in no particular order. First, Jeff Cobb versus Lars Sullivan. Strength versus strength.
Monsters.
Jeff Cobb goes over.
Does Jeff Cobb wear his
Matanza mask?
Matanza mask?
No. It's Jeff Cobb. Lars gets pinned after Tour of the Islands. Next,
nice.
Aleister Black versus Brody King.
My favorite thing about this is you saying Brody King is basically just, or no, I didn't.
That was you that said that.
Because you said, no, you danced around it. You said they have sort of the same vibe. I'm like, yeah, Brody King is just a Haas Aleister Black. Because he is. He's a big dude who looks like Aleister Black. So that's perfect. See who the real Aleister Black is.
Aleister Black is the real Aleister Black. Aleister Black goes over.
Black Mass, absolutely.
Next, Willie Mack versus Cassius Ohno.
Oh, I kind of feel like Cassius Ohno is sort of like the prototype for Willie Mack. You see a lot more Willie Mack types around, big dudes who could do cool stuff. They can put on like these 5-star matches. And both these guys, their personalities, talk about select. I'd love to see these guys jawing at each other on the mic. Willie Mack versus Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno goes over, the old school vet. That's what I think. Come on, man. He can't be putting more people over.
All right.
He's about to put Matt Riddle over.
Yeah. Matt Riddle is someone we didn't include on this.
That's true. Because he hasn't even debuted.
We didn't include
Matt Riddle NXT versus Matt Riddle Indie.
There we go. Yeah. We didn't include Keith Lee. No Kona Reeves either. Next, Velveteen Dream versus Moose.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? Talking about battle of promos. And
my
by the way,
gosh.
it's got to be Money Moose, the heel Moose.
Yeah.
Not Happy. No, this is... God, I freaking love Moose. He's my favorite. This would be great.
Who goes over?
Having Moose, we all do. The fans do.
True, everybody
Seeing
wins.
Moose respond
Everybody
to Velveteen's
wins.
Dream sexual innuendo and maybe even shoot some of it back. Oh, come on. Purple Rainmaker.
All right.
Moose can eat a loss.
Yeah, true. Next, heel DIY, a reunified Gargano and Ciampa.
Bad guy DIYs.
Taking on the Lucha Brothers,
Whoa,
Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix.
Oh, Pentagon, that hardcore guy from TNA.
Exactly.
Oh, man. And the AAA World Mega Champion, Phoenix. What a match. What a match for the ages here.
Very well be the greatest tag match of all time.
And then EC3 versus young EC3, a.k.a. MJF.
Basically the same gimmick.
It's basically the same gimmick. He's just doing the exact same thing
Yep.
as EC3 does.
Next, Nikki Cross versus Sue Young.
Oh, this would be great. Two of the select characters in wrestling today, Nikki Cross and Sue Young.
Indeed.
With all of her weird zombie brides and stuff. After that, we got Shayna Baszler versus Jordan Grace. Of course, Jordan Grace recently signed apparently a 2-year deal with Impact.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for Impact. Yeah, that'd be a good match right there. We got power versus submission expertise. Love that. Next up, Undisputed Era. Who are they going to go up against? Ohio versus everything. OVE, Sami Callihan, Chris Brothers against Roderick Strong. But here's who's in Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong,
Kyle O'Reilly,
and Bobby Fish.
Yes.
Which leaves Adam Cole Bebe to take on
Adam Mayhem. Yeah. For the H title, Adam Mayhem goes over.
Yeah. Next up, Anthony Graham has a question. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson and many friendos out there. It is I, Anthony the Canadian guy, coming to you from my new video editing studio I'm building here in my basement. My question for you is going to be about TLC. So we've got a lot of major pay-per-views coming up here. We've got Evolution, we've got Crown Jewel, you know, we've got Survivor Series, and it feels like TLC is going to be very heavily forgotten because we have all these front-loaded pay-per-views. My question for you this week is going to be, what are we going to be seeing at TLC? What is going to be the championship matches? What's going to be highlighted? What are these feuds going to be? Maybe just choose 2 or 3 feuds each and see who can build a better TLC. Anyways, thanks, friendos. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Here's what I want to see at TLC. This one I want to see as the main event.
Okay.
The blow-off for Becky versus Charlotte.
When is TLC? Next month?
December.
December. Yeah, because Survivor Series.
A TLC match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Have that be the blow-off. I think that would be great.
I want to see, so it's December. We're already getting to Seth versus Dean. So Seth versus Dean, Extreme Rules match, and there's guns littered around the arena.
You're
Roman
obsessed with firearms today.
Roman beats his leukemia in November, returns in December, prevents Dean from using the gun on Seth. Then they just hand the Universal title over to him. Braun says, "Here, you can have this now. You can have this now. I'm finished with you now." And then Braun quantum leaps. Next,
from
Christian. Shh. He's at work again.
Oh, that's right.
He's at work. Shh.
Let's see what Christian has to say.
Hey Steve, hey Larson. The Hall of Famer Christian here with yet another match chat question from work. I really need to stop doing these here. Anyway, my question to you guys is about belts, title belts. My question to you guys is, what is the best looking belt of all time? I'm partial to the spinner belt, but there's a lot of belts out there that look really good. OG NXT belt, I love too, so let me know. Too sweet, hearty handshake, and a shoulder lean. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian. Come on, man. It's right here. You already saw me get it out. This is the most prestigious. How many? Number one, Christian, I don't know what you're talking. That dude said he likes the spinner belt the best. What is going on at that workplace of yours where you're breathing some fumes, buddy? Because that is an ugly belt. This right here, the most prestigious prize in wrestling for a time. Right here, it's the big gold belt. Good looking belt right here.
Yeah, it's all right.
This is great looking title.
It's
Are you
not
kidding
bad.
me? You should pixelate it like they used to pixelate flares.
No, give me the Winged Eagle WWF Championship title. That is the most well-designed belt there's ever been. It is beautiful.
Man, I don't know. You not so much over that.
It's
title,
such a
man.
good-looking title.
That's all right. Come on, give me like even the IWGP.
Oh, it's a good-looking belt too.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
The Winged Eagle belt is majestic.
I don't know, man. Not sure it's as select.
It is
as this one here.
It is. It's more select, I dare say.
Agree to disagree.
Next from Andy Nero. Let's see what Andy Nero has to say.
Friendos, Stephen Larson. It's the heel that makes good points, Andy Nero, with another match chat question. This week, I'd like you guys to discuss one woman and one man each. People you think should be in the Hall of Fame, but probably never will be. For me, it's got to be Chris Benoit. For obvious reasons, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but probably never will be. And also the second one is actually Nancy Benoit. I believe her contribution as woman in WCW was considerable, and I think, unfortunately, she'll never make it to the Hall of Fame for the same reason that Benoit never will. Anyway, hope you guys are okay. Too Sweet, hearty handshake, shoulder lean, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone. I say, get well, Roman. Fuck cancer. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Andy Nero.
Thank you, Andy Nero.
All right. Scott Steiner. I know he's mellowed out significantly. That being said, I don't know if they would have put him in front of a live mic at a Hall of Fame ceremony.
Didn't he, in that Simon Miller interview, didn't he just call Stephanie McMahon a C word? Man, I know he's mellowed out, but that's not the kind of mellow that WWE wants.
No.
So you're right. Here's the thing about Scott Steiner. He doesn't he mainly deserves it for the Steiner brothers.
Yeah.
That tag team.
Yeah, the Steiner brothers should be in.
That should be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It really should be.
And China should be in. China should be in.
She did pornography.
That was years ago. We've done this several times. Search China WWE. Not a single image of adult cinema pops up.
I'm sure I can find some.
If you scroll far enough or put China WWE porn or something like that, yeah, it'll pop up. But if you just do China WWE.
Shut up. Why is Miss Elizabeth not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
That is weird. She's like known. She's like well known as like, you know, the forerunner to like, you know, whatever. She's an icon.
Yes. No, I
She's
understand.
a flippin' icon.
I understand.
Like the Godfather's in the Hall of Fame. And she's not? Are you kidding me? And then the guy she was last seen with, Lex Luger. He should be in the Hall of Fame too. Because he he beat Yokozuna at SummerSlam.
Oh, by count out. But he didn't win anything.
He beat the WWF champion.
But he didn't win the title. It's kind of an important thing, man.
Yeah, but in WCW he had all sorts of titles.
Yeah, I understand.
He didn't win one title in WWF. Huh?
Nope. Oh. Which is a good segue to our next question from Loki.
Oh.
Let's see what Loki has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richard here with another Matt Chat question. This week, is it possible for a wrestler to have a Hall of Fame career without ever holding a title? Good examples, Elias and Velveteen Dream. If they keep their popularity, turn them face, turn them heel, whichever, but they never hold a title, could they possibly have a Hall of Fame career? Have fun with the debate, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki.
Thank you, Loki.
It's possible, but man, it's super rare. And I would think, okay, so like he mentions Elias. Elias is going to be a tag team champion, probably a tag team champion. I can see him doing that.
I can see him winning a mid-card belt.
Maybe win a mid-card belt. That's a possibility. But there's so much talent right now, which I guess means that it's probably less rare. It's going to be less rare going forward because there's so much talent. The belts mean more, and they like to swap the belts less. So maybe they really need to introduce another belt, though. I went back over the past couple of years. These names. Well, you mentioned Coco Beware.
Mm-hmm. He never won a title in WWE. However, he did win titles elsewhere.
Right.
As did Jake.
Yeah, Jake did, but Jake, he was, he didn't win one in WWF.
Neither did Roddy Piper.
Neither.
Oh, sorry, no, he was an Intercontinental Champion. Sorry,
Yeah.
he never won the world title.
Hacksaw, he
Mhm.
never won a WWF title.
Mhm.
Probably won a bunch elsewhere.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody won a bunch elsewhere.
Yeah.
But like, I don't, dude. If you take a look at the Hall of Fame, it is rare that somebody gets in without winning a title.
Yeah.
It is rare. So is it possible? Sure, absolutely. It is rare.
It is rare, but as you said, it is possible. But like, imagine if someone like Diamond Dallas Page wasn't as decorated as he was. Maybe he won a couple titles in WCW, was a well-respected member of the roster. Maybe never world champion. Did come to WWE, never won a title there. But if he still did what he has done since retiring in terms of helping other wrestlers, then yeah, definitely he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that's such a singular
I understand,
thing.
but if the question is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I've listed examples.
Yeah,
it's just really rare.
Yeah, and I think it'll continue being rare.
Yeah. There at the bottom, let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Friendos. So the Friendoverse wants to know this week, what's the best heel versus heel match or feud of all time?
Thank you, Therathabata.
Thank you, Therathabata.
I like your answer here. What's your answer?
Oh, it's AJ Styles as leader of Bullet Club versus Minoru Suzuki as leader of Suzuki Gun from the G1 2014. This match took place at Kurikan Hall. It is hard-hitting. It is brutal. It is fantastic.
Oh, I got to watch that.
It's one of my favorite AJ Styles New Japan matches. It's really good.
I got to check that out. Best heel feud of all time has got to be Kane versus Undertaker. I mean, Undertaker was literally destroying the crap out of tweener Shawn Michaels. Well, maybe even face Shawn Michaels at the time because he was with DX. And then Kane shows up, who's also a bad guy. It's Kane. I mean, in the lore of WWE, anyways, which is the biggest promotion in the world, it's Kane versus Taker. I know there's been plenty of other heel versus heel feuds, but none really on the epic level of storytelling that had to do with the gates of hell and the river of Stygian. I'll put you down like a dog.
Like a dog.
He's my brother and my enemy. All that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. You know who else is great? Joshua the Dynamic Knight Martinez.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, I love this question. This is great.
Hey, friendos. Burrito King back here again with another Matt Chat question. So I'm going to piggyback off a question from last week about the Four Horsemen, but I'm going to switch it up a bit. If you could pick any wrestler to hang out with, or I guess wrestling faction to hang out with during the weekend, who would it be? I am going to go a little bit left field and pick Noam Dar. I know he plays video games, so that would be pretty cool to spend the afternoon doing. And I also know he likes going out and partying, drinking a little bit. At least that's what I get from his Instagram. So I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. I'll be interested to know what you guys think. Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, Joshua Martinez.
Thank you. Oh, man, this is easy. This is so easy. See, your answer is kind of booty, to be honest.
Why? Because it's a safe.
How much fun are you really? They're all a bunch of nerds, man.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Go ahead. Who'd you pick?
That was Undisputed Era. They seem like it'd be fun to hang around with them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get that vibe when you met them? They were just fun dudes to hang out with?
Yeah, I did. But I also kind of feel like they're like super on the straight and narrow.
What's wrong with that?
It's boring.
We're old.
That's boring.
Boring's
I don't. You keep on saying we're, man.
I'm old.
Oh yeah, no, man.
Straight and narrow's fine with me. I don't need to go out partying.
I can do that with you. I can do that with anybody.
I don't need to be dressed in the nines in the finest polyester like your pick.
The
don't need that.
British strong style, #1. I get to hang out in my favorite country of all time, England or United Kingdom, whatever that is. It's a collection of countries, I think.
Yeah.
And we go out. Trent Seven, that dude, just take a look at him. You know he knows how to have a good time. Tyler Bates Young, I don't know if he knows how to have a good, but he hangs out with Trent Seven, so he probably knows how to have a good time. Pete Dunne looks depressed as hell all the time.
Yeah, he looks pretty surly.
But still.
Curmudgeon.
Yeah, but still, probably has some good stories. Wouldn't be able to understand a word of what he says, of course. But then I just get Trent Seven to elaborate for me, and he's a great storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say, like, Trent Seven, look at how I dress like a homeless person. Can you please dress me in the most select of clothing?
He said, let us transport.
To the clothing store or wherever they go, Woolworths.
Yeah.
I think they close those down.
Yeah, I think so. Was it Piccadilly Circus?
Piccadilly, yeah, we'll go to Piccadilly Circus,
yeah,
where the tourists are, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure Trent Seven knows of the finest.
Some boutiques.
Boutique. Yeah, boutique. B-O. Oh, God.
So you can be a big, strong boy, too?
I'm going to be a big, strong boy.
All right.
Let's see. Man, are you kidding me? It's British strong style. It'd be so much fun. Do some drugs, maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't do any wellness policy over there at NXT UK. Johnny Saint doesn't know anything about that. Anyways, next up, who do we got?
Your Zodiac Killer, Steve Zodiac Killer.
God, where is he?
Let's see what he has to say.
Stephen Larson, it's Steve Zodiac Killer for another match at question. With the Wrestling World Cup coming up, obviously the WWE's done it as quite a few American wrestlers and then one Mexican wrestler. But I'd just love to know you guys' opinion on if, like they did a War Games match where it was every country with like 4 wrestlers each, who would actually come out on top. For me, I think between Canada and Japan, even as a Brit, I still think between them two. But I'd love to know guys' opinion. Too sweet, heart handshake, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Steve Zodiac Killer.
All right. I go first?
Yeah.
Give me a break, man. It's the freaking United States. We have John Cena, Roman Reigns, WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H, The Undertaker.
No, it's Japan because they have Okada.
Man, have you seen it? He is so checked out these days. He has a pirate hat on. He's going out on a boat with the best friends. Nah, man, he ain't winning nothing these days. Maybe 2 years ago.
Any team with Okada is the winning team.
Nah, man. Look, dude, I got John Cena coming from the United States. Are you kidding me?
It's Okada.
Okada. Cena.
Okada.
And Roman Reigns.
Okada.
They equal more than enough to take down Okada.
No. Okada.
What was the last match Okada had? Last singles match.
It was probably Tanahashi for the contract.
And who won that match?
Well, Tanahashi.
Exactly. Get out of here with that.
No, it's Okada.
You have a better chance these days saying, well, we got Tanahashi. Doesn't matter.
That too. We got Tanahashi and Okada.
I got John Cena.
And Tetsuya Naito. And Kushida.
Naito. He hasn't won a match since 2014.
That's not exactly true.
Oh, it's A.O. Worm. It's an A.O. Worm question. Let's see what he has to say.
What's good, friendos? A.O. Worm here. So, quick match chat question. Kind of stole this from one of theirs posed. One of the questions that didn't get picked. So, yeah, I'm going to swipe it real quick. So, quick question. What tournament styles do you guys prefer better? Regular one-round eliminations or Robin-style tournaments? All right, guys, take it easy. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
Thank you, A.O. Worm. See, I like the drama of single elimination. However, how many times do you see a single elimination tournament bracket and you're like, oh, man, how come these two guys aren't fighting? How come these guys aren't fighting?
Yeah.
That's what I like about round robin is, there's two fields. You got two, the words escape me right now.
Sides of the bracket.
Yeah.
Blocks.
Blocks, thank you. So it still happens to an extent, but you get a lot more variety during the course of the tournament. You get the G1, it's grueling. You get a bunch of awesome matches, and you're guaranteed to always get some interesting matchups.
Yeah.
That you really want to see.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen in a single elimination tournament.
Yeah.
With the G1, the drama doesn't really start to build towards the end when each match is extremely important for the overall rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Or a single elimination to get drama right out of the gate, because if you lose, you're gone.
Yeah.
You don't get the level of upsets in the G1. Granted, it may not be as significant, obviously, as a single elimination thing. So you have an upset loss, you're gone. Whereas if you have an upset loss in the G1 early enough, you can make up for it. So in that sense, there is some more storytelling potentials in a round robin tournament. So based on the variety of matchups, storytelling options, give me a round robin.
You know what I hate? Math. I was always good at math, but I always hated math. So by the time my senior year came around, I just dropped out of math completely. I took a calculus class, but I sucked at it. And I sucked at it because I didn't pay attention, even though I am smarter than you.
I mean, I got an A in calculus. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you're actually doing your work. I was out just...
Not true.
Hanging out with guys like British Strong Style.
Not true.
I was.
No.
Absolutely.
You were not select.
I was definitely select. But so give me a single elimination, man. Look, the G1's great. But number one, there's too many matches. And I'm like, God, who has time for all this? It's like 5 nights of matches and then 2-day break and then another 5 nights of matches. And it's like, oh, it's the terror. It's worse. And then like then you got to keep up with points.
Yeah, man.
How many points did he get? How many points did he get?
I know, it's cool.
I don't know. How many points does he have now? How does he get so many points? That's too much. That's too much. Single elimination. You could do all that in one night. Look at the UK tournament. It did it over like 2 days. That's what you want. Single elimination. That's how you do it. One and done. You're out.
Round robin.
You're
Next.
Out. You're out.
Tim Spulak. Let's see what Tim has to say.
Hey, friendos. Tim Spulak with another Matt Chat question. Been a lot of negativity, whether it's Sean hitting me with the chair or Roman Reigns, so I want to think of something positive this week. Imagine if the 2 members of the Undisputed Era that have the belts stay on NXT, and then the other 2 go over to NXT UK and win the tag belts over there, and then they decided to freebird all of the belts together. Steve, I want you to pick and say why that's a good thing. Larson, I want you to say, well, maybe that's a bad thing, whether it's, scheduling or congestion or something like that. So that's my Matt Chat question, boys. Can I get you anything?
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
He's icing his head there.
What a mess.
And that chair shot last week.
Mess.
Oh, you get to go first.
Yeah. This is a great idea. Are you kidding me? Undisputed Era, they branch off, go to NXT UK. Do you know why? Primarily, why this is a great idea? Have you seen how over Undisputed Era is in the UK? They love the Undisputed Era. We'd get more of those matches between British Strong Style. They'd get to also fight the Coffee Brothers and other tag teams there. What other tag teams are there?
No, you tell me.
Me neither. I have no... Eddie Dennis and Johnny Saint, they're a tag team. The Principals.
Don't you know what you're talking about?
You're right. I don't. But of course, yeah, absolutely. You know why? Because it means 2 days a week. 2 episodes a week. We get Undisputed Era as opposed to 1 episode a week, if even that.
No.
Yes.
Keep them together.
No, it's a great idea.
Keep them all together.
No.
You know, there's a huge problem with this. Monthly transatlantic travel.
How is that a problem? Rich people do it all the time. CEOs.
Yeah, but these are wrestlers. They got to take care of their bodies.
Yeah, man. You could
rest
do that
up
on a select flight from Virgin.
No, NXT flies coach. I guarantee you that. Come on,
man. No.
Basic economy, probably.
Undisputed basic.
So, no.
Basic economy.
Again, it's working so well in NXT. Don't spread them too thin. Keep them in NXT where they inspire fear in everybody.
That's literally just a line. You're just messaging now.
Yeah.
What Adam Cole said. Oh, man.
Got a couple text questions here. First from the remarkable B.R. Kramer.
Hey, Kramer.
Who should stop doing their signature move? Braun spearing someone in the corner where he usually takes a shoulder bump. So you try to spear someone in the corner. That person moves. He takes the shoulder bump.
Yep.
Or Charlotte with the moonsault, which usually misses or barely makes an impact on the match. Your thoughts? Too sweet and a sour handshake Larson.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons. I have one reason why it should be the moonsault and another reason why Braun should keep on doing the shoulder thing. Number one, the shoulder thing, it's a high impact for what you're getting because he always makes a loud noise with it, but it really probably doesn't hurt him at all. So he's good to go. It's a good visual. It's a good audio thing, hit, noise. And it's a great moment. Charlotte scares the living shit out of me with those moonsaults, man. When either she lands them on both feet from like way high up in the sky, I always think that I'm going to see her crack her ankle, or, whatever. Yeah, it's Charlotte with those moonsaults. They're terrifying. They look like they hurt.
Here's the thing about Charlotte's moonsault. I wonder if her basically constantly missing on that move is kind of a nod to whenever her dad would go to the top rope.
She could do it with something. Find something else to do that with. That's not as...
If that's the case, and if it works for the story, then I understand your qualms about it. Because we don't want to see anybody get hurt.
So that knee's just going to explode.
But for if it's a nod to her dad, then I'm cool with it. Braun hitting that shoulder post or hitting the ring post with the shoulder, it's so formulaic at this point. When the first few times it happened, it was like, oh, okay, here's a means for an undersized opponent, which against Braun is pretty much everybody, can maybe even the odds a little bit because it is impactful. It makes a loud noise. But when it happens every match, it just loses its impact. And it happens every match now. Yeah. Every match.
No, I'm fine with
and then he just kind of shakes it off and wins.
Yeah.
So he can lose that.
No, man. I don't see somebody's knees explode.
I don't want to see that either. I'm just talking about storytelling.
Well, I'm talking about knees exploding.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Storytelling.
D'Angelo Hopkins. He's got a question also. I'll read this one. Hey, friendo, still no video question due to technical issues. Moving on, I want you both to book a WrestleMania level NXT TakeOver Dream event using any NXT wrestlers past or present. So we get to go and pick through the fabric of NXT
Dr.
space-time.
Wagner Jr. Guides us through space and time to build the perfect NXT TakeOver card, yes.
He says the only rules are you have 7 matches, 3 men matches, 2 women matches, and 1 tag match, 1 multi-person gimmick match. And you can only use wrestlers who have competed in an NXT TakeOver. Well, I'm ditching that rule.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go first since yours is ridiculous. I don't know if he actually competed at TakeOver, so I'm going to take that person out.
Yeah,
first, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Tommaso Ciampa.
That's a good one.
I think it'd be great.
That'd be a good one.
Next, Adam Cole versus Kevin Owens. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's a good one.
Next, Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. The Revival versus Undisputed Era. Neville versus Ricochet. That'd be spectacular.
You know the problem with the Revival versus Undisputed Era?
Huh.
Revival will get... See, Revival, they got that NXT love because they were really good tag team.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Lorcan and Birch match. You'll just feel bad for them because they're getting booed against the awesome Undisputed Era.
Could be. Ember Moon versus Sasha Banks. I don't think this happened on Main yet.
I don't think it has.
And then a ladder match. You get Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream.
All right, listen to this lineup.
Versus Aleister Black. I'll put him in there too.
You've got, here we go, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Oh, killer main event right there. Going down the card. The underdog from the underwears. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Gargano. Shayna Baszler versus Charlotte, because they're both in NXT. Richie Steamboat versus Lars Sullivan. You remember Richie Steamboat? He was supposed to be. He was going to be huge. If you watch the first episodes of NXT, he is all over the opening video package.
Yeah.
And then he like busted his neck.
Hurt his neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won the FCW title a few times, I think.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. So he's going to fight Lars Sullivan, and Lars Sullivan wins. Then you have Damian Sandow versus Cal Bishop from Breaking Cal Jack. He's our friend. Heavy Machinery versus the First Ascension.
Who was Braum and Victor?
Yes.
Or Braum and Connor?
Connor.
Okay.
Connor. Rick Victor was his own guy.
Oh, until he joined Ascension, then dropped the Rick.
Yes, correct.
So now he's just Victor.
When Bram was gone. But they were like sort of weird. They reminded me of that movie Dark City.
Yeah. Yeah. They were vampires, weren't they?
Yes, they're also vampires. And then, of course, we're going to have Aaliyah versus Aaliyah. It's going to be now Aaliyah versus Aaliyah from when she was in NXT 5 years ago. And it ends in a time limit draw because there's been no difference in Aaliyah 5 years from now ago and now. And so they literally just counter each other's moves endlessly.
Oh, goodness.
To a time limit draw.
So it's a 7 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes of countering.
7 minute time limit
7
draw.
minutes.
Yes. No, that's right.
Right.
Because she's only in matches that last 7 minutes. Oh, that was perfect. I just won that one with my Aaliyah versus Aaliyah match. Anyways, that's it for Matt Chat. If you guys want in on the action, $20 a month gets you there on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. One $20 pledge.
It only takes one.
Gets you the Friendo Care Package. It gets you access to that month's bevy of post shows. It gets you going in raw ad-free, and you can submit your Matt Chat questions via video, audio, or in text form.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.